Marketing is hard. But I'll tell you a little secret. It doesn't have to be. Let me point something out. You're listening to a podcast right now, and it's great. You love the host. You seek it out and download it. You listen to it while driving, working out, cooking, even going to the bathroom. Podcasts are a pretty close companion. And this is a podcast ad. Did I get your attention? You can reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Libsyn Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a pre-produced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience in their favorite podcasts with Libsyn Ads. Go to libsynads.com, that's Libsyn, ads.com today.
Dearest fantasy readers, welcome to the Dear Fantasy Reader podcast, where two best friends, Hannah and Karen, travel through the pages of our favorite romantasy novels.
If our voices sound a little off, we just got back from the ERAS tour in London. You've been along for this ride with us for a while now, as we are halfway through our first season. So I think by this point you know how big of Swifties we are, and it was just such a super special experience for us.
It really was. Honestly, I would go as far as saying life-changing.
Yes, 100%.
I don't think we finished processing it. I think it's all that our minds have been consumed with since, a week now?
Yeah.
Taylor has been such a big part of both of our lives since her debut album in 2006 for both of us, but more than that, for our friendship. Because I've mentioned this before, but we met at a Taylor Swift club night, and there were so many serendipitous moments about just us meeting that night. Like, I didn't even live in the state. It was the only day of the year I was even in that area. Absolutely crazy. And that feels like it just bled right into our experience, the whole thing before it even started with our show. So I just want to share a couple of those serendipitous moments with you all. First, our ticket was a VIP floor ticket.
Oh,
I still
can't believe it.
I still can't either. Like, so many stars had to align for that to happen. Like, it is such a blessing, because there's not a lot of people who get to experience that, and we are beyond grateful. But the craziest part about it is Karen and her dreams.
Yes, I do have dreams about, you can believe me or not, it's true. I have dreams about things before they happen.
Boy, was I so glad that this is one of them. You have your own signet of precognition, because Karen tells me about this dream. I get the code the next day, and I go in, and we'd agreed from the start of tour, we wanted to see Taylor Swift up front. Like, I'd never seen her show before. And so it was like a combination of, I don't even think you have to justify it. We just wanted to see Taylor Swift up front, right? And so she had this dream. I get in, and there's only one floor ticket, VIP, which means you have early access, left. And it is stage left. So I get it, I secure it, and I text Karen, and I say, what side of the stage were we on? Because there's stage right, center, and left in your dream. And she says,
we were on the front left.
And that was the ticket we got. And it's still not guaranteed that you're going to get front row if you have VIP. Like, people get there early. We were like, oh, maybe we'll get there like 5 a.m. That seems like a really long time to be there. So a lot of people wouldn't do that. But it just so happened we were the last show of the London set, but also of the whole European leg. And so by the time it became our night, people had found out how early others had lined up the day before. And so they lined up earlier and earlier and earlier. We camped out on the streets of London overnight. We got there at 9:50 p.m. the day before our concert. I actually had tickets to that night, and I left after surprise songs to meet Karen outside with all of our stuff, which... honestly, some of the best memories are from that whole, over 24 hours? We queued in line for VIP for 16 hours before we even got in, and then you wait longer once you do that. And it was so worth it.
Worth it.
I don't want to get emotional talking about it. But there were so many moments after that, like, it felt out of body, but also we were so intentional about just being present. And I really appreciate Karen. You helped me out a lot with that of like, yes, this is crazy. Like, I want to cry, but also live in it. Like, there were moments where I just like leaned over and like laid my head on Karen, which again was so serendipitous for us and our friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And there were two really big moments that I want to talk about. First, Taylor comes out. She starts with a Lover set and she's singing Lover. And I was so present and so conscious of how monumental this moment was and how I've waited since I was little to have this sort of chance, I suppose. And so I was really getting emotional watching Taylor sing. And she looked over and locked eyes with me. And I don't know how to explain how I was able to react so quickly.
Yeah.
But I mouthed thank you to her. And she smiled back.
She did.
And
I was right there. It was very obvious she was looking directly at Hannah. It was so sweet.
I watched that video over and over and I cried because, and I know that might sound silly to some people, but I explained it to my partner, like, this is someone who has basically written my diary for me for 18 years of my life that I all I wanted to say is just thank you. And that's not the point of this podcast, so I won't go. But it was just, I will never forget that moment alongside a moment when she was singing All Too Well. She just finished the song, which is a very emotional song and all, but the snow started falling, and I've dreamed of that. That is something that I really looked forward to for ERAS, just seeing the confetti fall.
Yeah.
And being there with you. I honestly was like in awe of Taylor, but really in that moment it was more, and we haven't gotten to talk about this since we've been back. But I just felt so much like this is a moment that I'll never forget in bigger ways than just Taylor. And so I was crying and I just leaned over and put my head on Karen's shoulder and she laid her head on mine. And it was such a beautiful moment. I was thinking that I almost missed when Taylor looked over and smiled at us. Like her whole face changed. And
it my gosh.
It was like in both of those situations, there's 92,000 people in that stadium. And somehow, for those 10 seconds combined between these two moments, it was just us three. It was just us. And that's... I told myself I would not get emotional.
Well, it's emotional too, especially that moment for us, just because I think I had texted you right after I got off the plane. And I was just like, Hannah, this invisible string we have of us almost both not going to that club night.
Yeah.
And it was a last minute decision for both of us. I was heartbroken and I didn't want to go, but I just made myself go. I didn't know anybody there. And we just happened to meet and exchange information. And I'm not going to get emotional. And just how
mess up my makeup.
And just how that like snowballed, and then just getting to experience the ERAS tour with you front row. Oh my gosh. I made her cry.
I know. I'm so grateful for you. And there's nobody else that I would have, like, yes, getting to see Taylor, I would go with anybody. But to have shared, we haven't even hit like all of the surprises we got for the night that are also serendipitous, but to have shared even one of those moments with you, just one out of the 13, one of them would have meant the world. And I just don't have the words to express like how I'm so grateful for the whole stretch of our friendship, like that we have, that honestly Taylor brought us. So
100%. Like, full credit goes to Taylor and Le Petit Feet.
Yes. Shout out to the Taylor Swift Club nights. But to try and get through this, I do want to mention the other serendipitous moments. I think we've talked about it on this podcast that my favorite song is Getaway Car. I don't believe we've talked about our like top favorites, but Death by a Thousand Cuts is my second. Long Live. Those are like my forever songs. Karen.
Death by a Thousand Cuts.
Is Getaway Car in your top?
5, yeah.
Yeah. So when Taylor gets up for surprise songs and announces that Jack Antonoff is coming out on stage, I posted our reaction. It is just beware, turn your volume down. I watch it all the time. If you'd like to see it, we can share it in our Discord or something like that. Just ask. But we went absolutely feral because not only did she start playing Death by a Thousand Cuts, she then started playing Getaway Car.
Mm-hmm.
No words. It was meant for if I had a mashup for a surprise song. And then, of course, So Long London, which is also a top for me. It's my favorite Tortured Poet song. We kind of expected to get that one as the last night of London. But the trio? Are you kidding me?
We were unwell.
My favorite part of watching those videos back is how, and people in comments pointed it out, we had a lot of the same reactions at the same moment, our facial expressions, same thing. Or like when we both looked at, there's a lyric in Getaway Car, think about the place where you
first met me.
And we turned to each other and sang that song at each other. And if you think about that whole thing we keep talking about, it's like this invisible string to get that song in that moment. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then we also get Florida added to the set list, which I moved to Florida to be with Karen. I was at her house for the only 2 other days the whole year that I'd been in Florida to tour apartments. Literally, the first night we watched the Grammys together where she announces Tortured Poets. And then the second day is when she announces the set list and it said Florida. So I said, okay, I'm taking that as a sign that I'm supposed to move there. And then she plays it in when we go to London.
That reaction video of us, absolutely feral. We weren't expecting it, so we didn't get our very first reaction, but unwell. And I think that a lot of that reaction is you and I going, like, jaw dropped.
I said, you can hear it because Karen filmed our reactions. I filmed the stage, and I was already filming So High School when she stepped up right in front of us. Literally, like, she was on our side of the stage right in front of us. So I have an absolutely incredible quality video that I uploaded. And you can hear me when she steps up and it turns green. I say, what the fuck?
We were so surprised.
Because I knew instantly that it was different. I was not expecting Florida. So anyways, that's just another one of those things that's like, did Taylor Swift write about our lives for 18 years and then wait for us to come to this show specifically and play all of our favorites and all of the things that are meaningful? No, but yes. You know? But yes.
And the manifestation powers.
To top it off, we also get the I Can Do It With a Broken Heart music video, which is an ERAS Tour documentary trailer. And that is something we've talked about so many times before. It's also, I would say, like my second or third favorite off of Tortured Poets. Black Dog's got to be second. So yeah, third.
Oh, Black Dog.
Which we got to go to together. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're going to chill. We need to get back to this book, which does tie in because, again, all things Rebecca Yarros. She's a Swiftie. So our love for Taylor Swift and being Swifties, like love the lore and the Easter eggs and the theories, funneled us into becoming fans of Fourth Wing. So it all fits. It all fits.